take stuff.
Isn't that the silliest hat, though, that you've ever seen?
It's kind of the silliest hat, but, but the thing is about you is you
do
could...
I carry it off, do you think?
You see, because you could wear anything. You could be sat there with a wee red nose on and it wouldn't matter.
Well,
you've got gravitas.
Thank you. Well, but while we're talking about heads and hair, it just occurred to me just now, why is Jonathan Ross more qualified to go to the Hairdresser of the Year Awards than I am?
I wonder. I think you'd make a beautiful job of doing that. It would be lovely. So you are the busiest man ever. You're working really hard right now.
I don't know how it happened. December and Christmas and all that time looked so leisurely and full of, you know, vacation and sitting around drinking coffee and listening to the birds. And then it all got out of control. I opened Christmas Carol week tonight at the Albury Theatre, which is a one-man show. It's a...
I don't know how you do that. Actually playing about 40 roles.
Yes, there's something around about 40 different characters, all of whom have to be inhabited, all of whom I had to find a voice for, a physicality for, all have got to be integrated into the story. The only problem occurs technically for me is when there's more than one character, like the Cratchits Christmas party. I think there are 8 Cratchits.
Right.
So at different times I've got to be each one of them, and you can't be in 8 places at the same time. So the show, and I hope this is what makes it interesting for an audience, the show depends on the audience giving me a lot of help.
Right.
In that, if I say that there are 6 Cratchit children, they've got to believe me and they've got to see them. So while I'm being Bob Cratchit, they've got to remember where all the other Cratchits were, you see.
That's really good. And this is award-winning, this show, Christmas Carol. You've done it in America as well, haven't you?
I've done it 4 times in New York and all up and down the West Coast, because it just started as a little show I could put in the trunk of my car when I was living in the States and shooting Next Generation. I would take it to community centres and colleges at weekends, and it was a way for me of keeping my stage muscles active, because I was spending all the time in front of a camera.
That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. It's at the Albury Theatre?
It's at the Albury Theatre in St Martin's Lane, and it's only 23 performances because it's seasonal, you see. So we'll close it on New Year's Eve with a matinee, just 23 shows.
Do you know, that's a great... It's a show like that. It kind of starts off Christmas for you as well. It's one of those things that you could go to see. Bring the children. Would the children like it also?
Oh, absolutely. We set an age limit at 6, we think, because you know it's me on a bare stage. With a few pieces of furniture, but a fantastic story. And you're right about launching Christmas in the right way. It does, because it puts, what I do, puts the focus on the message of A Christmas Carol, which is a really important message for any of us at any time of the year, but particularly at this season.
And Dickens, I mean, we've got Bleak House on telly. I just saw again Nicholas Nickleby just seems to always be on TV. I mean, it's fantastic.
It's great.
And you must be really pleased about that, the fact that people are really into it. You know, they're getting it now, I think more than ever, which is quite astonishing.
It will probably seem absurd to say that people keep rediscovering Dickens, but they do, and they rediscover the brilliance and energy and grotesquerie and all that fierce social criticism that was Dickens, and that he is one of the best storytellers ever. And finally, what I do, whether it's X-Men or Star Trek or anything on stage, everything finally comes down to storytelling. What happens next? And you've got to keep your audience because they want to know what happens next.
Exactly. You're living over here now, aren't you?
I do. I live in London.
Now, based here, sorted out.
Completely, entirely here. Yes, my California life is over, sold up.
Do you know what, though? That was a great time in your life, but I think now you're probably happier than you ever were, it would seem.
Yeah. You know, one hesitates to say things like that, but really this does feel to be the best time in my life to date.
Because you've got this on, new drama coming out, 11th Hour.
11th Hour, yes.
You're a professor again, aren't you?
Yeah, a scientist, actually. And it's a thriller, but it's an investigative series, but it's not cops and it's not hospitals and it's not lawyers. It's about science, and it's...
Oh, that looks fantastic. Just a wee snippet there, just to, because it's not out till next year, is it?
January 23rd, I think it airs. Approximately January 23rd.
That looks very, very good. And more X-Men. Do you think there'll be an X-Men 3, maybe?
Will there be an X-Men 3? I've just spent 3 months in Vancouver shooting it.
Oh, so there will?
Yeah, well, I hope so. Otherwise, we've all been wasting our time. Yes, I can even tell you the date. The 23rd of May, a worldwide opening of X-Men 3.
Oh, I love the X-Men series. I just think it works so well. You and Ian McKellen together, two giants.
We have a lot together in this next film.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's so good to see you. It really is.
Thank you.
A Christmas Carol, the Albury Theatre, the 6th to the 31st of December. I'm definitely going to go see that and get into the Christmas spirit. Thank you. Great to see you. Now,